Iranian mullahs are freaking crazy. And the Iranian mullahs sending ballistic missiles and drones all over the Middle East to countries, some countries that in the past may have been considered even quasi-allies of them, does not bode well for you sharing nuclear weapons technology with them in the future, because they know if the Iranians had nuclear weapons that they would have just launched the nukes everywhere and destroyed everything. The World War III talk is like, listen, man, I'm always worried about World War III. Of course, you know, it's a possibility someday some global conflict will break out involving nuclear weapons. Let's all pray and hope to God that never happens. But let's be realistic too. World War III, we've heard this 1,000 times. The Abraham Accords, World War III, move the embassy. World War III, Soleimani. World War III, Baghdadi. How Baghdadi? World War III. It's always World War III. I want to see freaking data. I'm sorry. After you've made 20 predictions about World War III and 0 of them have worked out, I kind of like ready to move on from you. Am I crazy? Folks, one of the things about this show, and I think this is why our audience always kicks ass and takes names, and why we're always at the top of these charts, is because we just don't bullshit people. We just don't bullshit people. World War III. I know it makes a great headline. Stunner, World War III tomorrow. But it's just, you're never going to build an audience like that long term that's loyal, where people show up in the chat before they go to work. Because they know you're full of shit. I got a lot to talk about. I got a banger of an opener today. We're going to hit like 3 or 4 huge stories right away in the beginning, including IMHO, fellas, ladies, my humble opinion here. The most dangerous problem we're going to have moving forward, God forbid we lose the midterms and the presidency in 2028. The judicial system right now is being infiltrated, and they're not even hiding it, by left-leaning groups learning how to engage in like jury nullification and selective targeting. It is going to be open season. And it's not going to be a matter of reforming federal agencies. This isn't federal agencies we're talking about. These are jury pools. I'll show you what I mean. I got that. Really, when I say shocking poll, and I mean it. It's not so much a shocking poll for us, but I promise it was for the Democrats. Why did I hear myself there? Trying to remind me how loud I am. Today's show brought to you by All Family Pharmacy. What do they do for you? They let you plan ahead with vital medications shipped right to your door. Don't wait knocking on the pharmacy window. Let me in an emergency. You don't need that. They're probably not going to answer. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Learn more. Use code Bongino10 to save 10% on your next order. Prescription provided. Get your stuff today. Don't wait. We've seen what can happen. Better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. Today's show also brought to you by preparewithdan.com, our friends at My Patriot Supply. If a major disruption happened and you couldn't get to the store, how long do you think it would last? Your food, what's in your house right now? You want to be like, hey, Dad, where's the food? I don't have any. I didn't think of that. That's our job. Our job is to prepare. Listen, they can laugh at you all you want, folks. They're going to be knocking at your door if stuff breaks bad and you were not prepared. It is a basic human instinct to prepare for yourself. Get your emergency food and supplies now. Don't wait for the emergency. You're not going to be around then. You need to check out our friends at My Patriot Supply. They're America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers. What has 2 thumbs and is one of them? This guy. And right now, when you go to preparewithdan.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food free. Can't beat that. It's the best long-term storable food you can find. Get a kit for every member of your family. It'll give you 2,000 calories a day of real meals made with real ingredients, no artificial flavors or colors, and shelf lives measured in decades. That's a lot of food insurance right there. Look, we all know we need to have some food stored for emergencies. Everyone's done it. Our ancestor, this is the only generation where people are like, you got to go do it. Why not get it from My Patriot Supply, the most trusted folks in the business? Get a free week of food while you're at it. Go to preparewithdan.com. Get your free week of emergency food today. That's preparewithdan.com. You guys liked the shirt yesterday, by the way? This is a blue one. All America, all that time. The lovely Paula, she loves this designing shirts. It's her thing. So she's very proud of it. You can pick one up if you want one at bongino.com. Up to you, of course, totally. So this is going to be a huge monster problem. Not going to be, it already is. Disregard. Rewind the tape. Scratch sound. It already is a problem. The problem is it's going to be an even bigger problem going forward. The left has figured out through weaponizing government, which again, we're doing our best and did our best to clean up. It is not going to happen overnight. Again, I'm not going to bullshit you. All these other people out there, you should have come in there at day one and axed the entire place. Really? You understand how these government hiring rules, people sue, they get their jobs back and they get money. Then you can never get rid of them. The government system is so bureaucratic and a mess. The left knows this. Entrench people, weaponize the government. Now they want to layer on another layer of security. So if they engage in another Donald Trump supporter targeting episode, they want to be sure, even if they can't use the government to do it, they can use state liberal governments and they can weaponize juries. Look at this post by Carrie Severino. You need to check this out. She's a really great analyst about what goes on in the judicial branch of government. She says, presenting the left-wing dark money apparatus's latest scheme to influence judicial outcomes. Read this and weep. It wasn't enough for George Soros and the dark money web to back far-left prosecutors who release criminals or to bolster judges who ignore the rule of law. This is just another aspect of the legal system these groups are trying to infiltrate. This is huge. Check this out. We saw it. Left-wing activist groups are teaching libs now how to get through jury selection and vote not guilty on Trump DOJ prosecutions, recordings show. Folks, not an excuse, a freaking explanation. If we don't understand the problem, we're never going to be able to fix it. This is a huge problem because you can appoint everyone you want in the USIC, the Intel community, the FBI, the DOJ, select whoever you want for president. If we can't get prosecutions on public corruption because they're just going to vote no on anyone put over there, this is a huge problem. Now, that's already impacted us in a number of cases. When I say us, the people, the justice system, the FBI, you've seen it. This is a huge problem. The problem going forward is Washington, D.C. is 85+% Democrat. When you factor in left-leaning independents, it's probably closer to 90+. There are very few Republicans for a jury pool in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, that creates what's known as a math problem. The chances of you getting a constitutionalist or Republican who actually believes in the rule of law on a jury in Washington, D.C. mathematically are not great if a bunch of big government liberals who just want Trump people prosecuted no matter what and anti-Trump people let off. It's a huge math problem. You get two things. You get jury nullification when bad guys get caught. And then on the other side, you get selective targeting, like in a number of cases of Trump officials through the D.C. circuit, where cases went on and on despite no evidence whatsoever they did anything wrong. Folks, let me tell you something, and you're hearing this from me, and it gives me absolutely no pleasure in telling you this, but listen up, and as my grandmother used to say, and listen good, Daniel, listen good. If there is ever going to be a breakup of the national justice system, and a cold, legal civil war. I don't mean legal civil war like legal. I mean legal like in the legal judicial process, the legal process. This is going to be it. What do you mean by that? If this gets ugly and Democrats in Washington, D.C., remember the sandwich guy throws the sandwich at the cops on camera. They're like, no, nothing happened there. Oh, okay. So everybody should start throwing sandwiches at cops. Is that what you're suggesting? How could you not indict on that? That's insane. That's a small example of how bad I think this is going to get if the left keeps this up, and they will. And what you're going to see now going forward, if this gets bad and doesn't hit an asymptote, keeps getting worse, you're going to see people in conservative states, and they're just going to be like, hey, man, you're going to have to come send someone after you. I'm not going up to D.C. I'm not going there. The judicial process is completely rigged. They're going to have to see upper level courts creep in here and clean this mess up. Folks, this is a freaking disaster, man. I'm telling you, this has the potential to get really bad really quick. And of course, you were never, ever going to get honest reporting on this disgusting, filthy, freaking phenomenon of jury nullification from the left and selective targeting from a left-wing media. Put up that CNN tweet. This rates up there as possibly, folks, one of the top 10 worst tweets I've seen of all time, and that's saying a lot. So we had the incident with these two subjects and suspects in this case up in New York, throwing a bomb at that Jake Lang protest. By the way, a viable bomb, according to the NYPD themselves. It was a TATP explosive. Here's how CNN frames this. Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning.